or this mess. I'm gonna try to go over an overview of the last video because it kind of drags in the beginning. Get to a porn. Actually, I lost a sub or I lost a subscriber. I'm guessing from one of my other videos. I don't think it's from this one because it wasn't up long. And also, I just don't think it was. If it was, I'm guessing it's because my last video wasn't very good. Even though I went into a lot of important detail. And that's actually the main primary reason why I'm making this pile of crap. To go into more detail about the last pile of crap I made and why the fuck it's important. So let's get to this. Pretty much in that video, well, first of all, let me state one of the things I wanted to talk about, and one of the things that was fucked up about circumcision, actually, if you know anything about it, you study it. It's known widely that and I've talked about this before, I believe, but I wanted to talk about it here. But it is known widely that they do not use adequate pain relief. And what I mean by that, they don't put the child to sleep during the procedure. But there usually is some level of pain release, or at least there is supposed to be. But we know, even still now, in a lot of cases, pain release is not provided. And that was proven, by the way, because part of when healthcare used to cover this, part of the funds were supposed to go to pain relief. And I understand, by the way, why you don't put the kid to sleep if you're going to do this that you shouldn't do in the first place. But as part of the reason for that is because the child's system might not be able to handle it, but yet they can handle chopping out part of their penis. I find that a bit bizarre. And they usually do go into shock, by the way. And I think I can further explain that when I go into detail that the funds being provided by the state, by taxpayers, by the way, that were being covered by Medicaid and or other healthcare providers at that time that was supposed to go to pain relief weren't being used. So I'm guessing either the doctor in or a hospital or someone pocketed the money, but they were not, in any event or in either situation, using it for the purpose intended. Until this day, in many cases, they will not use pain relief on the child at all. So they're generally, if your kid, I think the way it works, if they bring them back fast, then that means they didn't use any kind of pain relief. So if your kid is returned to you within 30 minutes of having the genital mutilation done to them, they're not using pain relief of any kind, literally, quite literally. So you're performing, not only are you performing a cosmetic surgery on an infant that doesn't need to be performed, and on their genitals no less, you're also not fucking even using adequate or even close to adequate pain relief, or if any pain relief on the fucking child. And you're doing this to a fucking child. You know what? At that point, man, I don't give a damn. I mean, like, I'm not gonna say too much. You are scum of the fucking earth. I mean, honestly. And they do this all for profit. And I go over that. I go over how that ties back not so much to corporate industrial complex as much as it just does capitalist greed and people doing things for profit motivation. I do talk about towards the end of the video the rage gap that I realize is a controversial subject that some people don't like talking about, and how I don't know what goes on in Hollywood. Obviously, that's a weird culture. Maybe someone does know the director, the producer, the man. Maybe does know that. Maybe there is some kind of old boys club there. Maybe it's simply that they think this person's a bigger box office draw than this other person, and or if you go into sports, whatever the fuck that amounts to, so the males get paid more. I don't know if that's true, but if you're bringing it down to a low level, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck you, fuck off, damn this, stop. Scooby, come back. Dad, Scooby-Doo, you're a good doggy. Anyways, if you're bringing this down to a basic low-level working class, run-of-the-mill peasant level labor job, like Scooby, bring it back to 7-Eleven, a comic book store, a fucking whatever. And in many cases, the only real difference isn't that they're making less money. It's that in some cases, men are making the same money to do more dangerous jobs. So the only real difference is the man's job can kill them. But they have taken statistics and other things that have proven that there's no real wage gap. And I don't go into detail on that. I don't really give a shit. God. Hey, Scooby, what's wrong with you? Stop. No, listen. Listen. Fuck, give me a minute. Come on. All right, now that that's over. Dog, I guess my dog is going to piss all over something. That's nice. 1 minute. Anyways, what the fuck was I even talking about? Oh yeah, a wage gap. If you're talking about low-level job, they've proven that don't exist. But I talked about that, and I'm going way too much into that. But okay, those two things. I've talked about the prison and the prison industrial. Actually, at first I talked about police abuse, how they usually operate in inner cities where they know the people there can't fucking function as appropriately. They can't afford strong legal teams. They have racial profiling of black people, people who look a certain way. This may include white people. I'm sure homeless people are profiled. They may profile other people that they think are drug types. I'm sure that would include me, and or whatever else. Prostitutes, hookers. They will they will prosecute and profile prostitutes for looking a certain way. That has happened with some females. Um, and not being able to afford a strong legal team, the prison industrial complex going into that, the private for-profit prison system that we have, the way that they screw over the black community especially, but larger groups of poor people, sticking them in prisons to make profit, and then sticking the taxpayer with a bill to imprison these other fucking poor people, and they're screwing you. And they're screwing what's left of the middle class by sticking them often with the highest percentage of taxes, even higher proportionally than the upper class. So the middle class gets fucked the most, and they're trying to store whatever is left of that. I'm not too much into family values, but they are fucking and completely trying to store what's left of the family. They've turned the genders against each other. They fucked that. But the military-industrial complex, getting us in all these wars to set up shop in other countries, to set up their shop over there, to expand into these countries, to sell crap. They want to set up a central bank everywhere. They're going to connect that. A lot of it, I believe they want to try to connect that to create a one world government. If done for the purposes of profit, ran by various banking cartels and or corporations and corporate organizations. They treat human beings as livestock. We're treated as a human commodity and not as human beings, individuals. Your children to them, as I went into with circumcision, they're seen as a profit. You're a stock in the New York Stock Exchange. When you're born as a stock in the stock exchange. That's why your name is written in all capital letters. You're a stock. I mean that and they use the old Roman law of how does it go? Anyways, it's something about anything that's being brought into like seas. So you're open waters because they count your mother's water. When your water breaks, they count that as it's some weird shit like that. It's been a long time since I heard about that, or no, I forget exactly what that was. But that's a screw job they're pulling, and it's a big game to them. That's why they call it court. It's like a tennis court, you go to court and then they play a game with your life. So these rich fuckers can profit, and the prosecutor wants to rack up their fucking prosecution so they can make more money by sticking more innocent people in, or poor people and people that don't deserve to be in jail, or people who maybe deserve to go to jail but not for that long. And they throw you in these fucking places where people get raped, and they do that to people, and it's a mess. The male, as I have said, is worse off than the female in the society. Both groups are worse off. You can look at any single mother type situation. Plenty of those people are impoverished, poor. They're living in less than quality situations themselves. A minute. Tastes like shit. Actually tastes like my life, and probably whatever quality of video this is. But anyways, they're fucking you, and is it any wonder why they want your guns with the same people that do this? And I can't believe so many of you don't understand, or you can't believe that the media, so on and so forth, religion has lied to you in cahoots with, or in collaboration with medical organizations over genital mutilation of children. And I mean, I've said this before, I don't want genital mutilation to be legal. I'm sure in this fucking country, they would make female genital mutilation legal long before they would ever make male genital mutilation illegal, because they do not want to acknowledge anyone's humanity or values as a human being, rather alone, and especially a male's. And that includes children, as they prove time and time and time and time again. But I go into detail on that, and just whatever else. And I mean, I've made some positive progress as of late. And like I said, I lose a subscriber. So it's like I take 2 steps forward, 1 step back, 1 step forward, 2 steps back, 3 steps forward, 2 steps back. I'm always fucking losing ground as a porn. I'm not ever getting anywhere. It's a pile of shit, and this fucking life sucks. And I need to talk a little bit more. I kind of want to talk more, go into more detail, but I'm not sure about what. Anyways, let's see what else is there to fucking talk about. It's a massive clusterfuck system, society. And again, they're marketing bullshit to you. They market it through their media. They sold you the Iraq War. They sold you the Afghan War. They try to carbon copy people. Your fashion, especially for men, but even for women in many cases, is a pretentious, in some cases simplistic, and yet at the same time, in some other cases, over the top, stereotyped, complying, conformist, cohesive pile of shit that you all conform to. I talked to you about the hair cutting in the one of the other videos I made. I can almost assure you that was brought to you by Great Clips or some other fucking thing. I mean, they're obviously trying to. Again, everything goes back to profit for the upper class. They're fucking feeding off you. They've been feeding off you. It's like that movie They Live. They're perched on top of you, feeding off you from the moment you're born to the moment you die. They're a parasite on your ass. And you're telling me these people care if men are making more money, 20 cents more money than a fucking chick? Do you think that even crosses their mind? When they're profit-based, profit motive, and all they care about is making money? And or if you did pay men more than women, that would be immoral and incorrect to begin with anyways. So they're going to do that for what reason again? Doesn't make any sense. Now, if you look at it in a broader scope of things, an African woman, a woman in sub-Saharan Africa working in a factory perhaps for 20 cents less than a man, and that man's probably, and a man who is probably not even getting hired because they don't even want to spare that 20 cents and change, yeah, then that person probably is working harder than the other person. And they probably have children, 2 or 3 little kids alongside them, probably theirs, working in that fucking factory. So some rich, white, bloated cocksucker can get rich off their blood. And then you have children, like I said, they dig up fucking diamonds, they dig them out of the fucking ground, and then they sell that back to fucking America. So some rich white asshole, or at least upwardly mobile asshole, can sell that to his can give that to his fucking wife. Oh, I love you, baby. Here's a shiny rock some 8-year-old dug out of the ground. And then you call that fucking free market. There's nothing free about it. You're working and you're feeding off someone else's blood. And that's America. It's a big fucking scam. The entire thing is a scam. And they're fucking you, and they're fucking your children. Your children are the ones that suffer at the end of the day, not you adult crybabies. It's your fucking child who constantly takes it in the ass every day. They're getting shafted. You're all being railroaded. They're running train on your ass in every way, shape, and form. You've got literally millions upon millions of fucking people stuck in fucking prisons doing cheap labor. By the way, if you want cheap labor, who does fucking cheap labor than prisoners? No one. So you're getting hours of work out for very little, if any, money out of fucking people who are in prisons. 1 minute. You're getting hours and hours of cheap work out of people who are in fucking prisons for often nonviolent crimes, or are in prison that shouldn't be in prison, or are in prison for longer than they should be, and you're getting hours of cheap labor because that is the real economic swindle. That is where they're really taking their money. They're harvesting their power. They're harvesting your soul. And they have wrecked the black community. And if you want to see an oppressed group of people, look at the black community. Look at the immigrants that are going across miles of fucking desert to get into America because you collapsed their fucking economies with this economic resource fucking shit that you do. Sending jobs to places, fucking up their agriculture, taking the jobs out, sending it somewhere else, having them come here, and then you blame them. And all you have to do if you want to solve any immigration problem, simply nationalize or legalize all the immigrants, raise the minimum wage for everyone, men and women, and then watch and see how long it is before these rich cocksuckers, they don't hire the Mexicans more than the white people. They're not hiring the white people more than the Mexicans. They're all being hired at about the same amount. The men and the women are making the same income. The men and the women are making the same income. They're both making more money, more than they would with all this wage gap bullshit. More than like 20 cents or something. You're making $15 or something an hour, more than you ever have before in many cases. And that's the start. That's minimum wage. People are making money. You're making a better wage. You're doing that collectively as a group, as a country, as citizens, as fellow human beings. You're all doing better. But instead, you'd rather fight with each other over complete shit. You're blaming fucking immigrants for fucking problems. The rich white assholes that run your country, primarily white assholes, not always, but most of them, these white assholes that run your country, fuck us. And then instead of blaming them, you're blaming the immigrants. It's not their fault. If you were starving to death on one side of the corner, and then someone had, some level of fucking food, they had a banana or something, any damn thing on the other side, wouldn't you fucking swim a damn river to get to the other side before you starve to death? That's not them fucking you. They're trying to live. They have a family. They have life to support like anyone else. It's a complicated fucking clusterfuck of a mess. And like I said before, they're fucking you. I know I said that 1,000,001 times, but they are screwing you. They're screwing you out of resources, out of jobs, out of a family, out of children, out of any damn thing. They can't even leave the tip of your dick alone. They're telling women not to date you if you have long hair. They're doing everything they can to fuck you in the ass every goddamn way they can. They're fucking you up jobs, resources, money. They're sending your children to die in fucking bullshit wars they fucking plan to make happen over shit they plan to make happen and everything else. They want your fucking guns. And they're fucking you. And then they want to take your fucking income from you. They want to goddamn lower both male and female wages with this wage gap shit. And let's not talk about the minimum wage that would actually help both fucking groups. They want to turn the genders against each other, take one from the other, or put them against each other, something that is completely unnatural and inhuman. And then while they do all of this, all the while, they're taking your fucking they're taking more and more of your income. They're taking your vanishing pension. They're taking your fucking retirement money from you because they want to give it back. Like Carlin said, they want to give it to their criminal friends on Wall Street, and they're getting it all from you. You're too fucking stupid. You're too lemming. You lemmings can't see what they're doing to you, and they're fucking you. So you wave a flag celebrating, yay, 4th of July, and whatever other fucking crap they made up. They're fucking you over. A666.